Hello and welcome back for another episode of Patriotic Housewife. I want to show you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen it, the girl who went to TPUSA Faith event and came out and did a TikTok about how she felt her experience was. She's very dissatisfied with what she saw. So I'm just going to jump right into this. I'm going to show you guys the video and then we'll talk about it a little bit after. And then I want to show you a speaker, Johnny K, at a TPUSA event trashing Candace, and this is why people are upset. This is not landing well with people like I think they anticipated. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this. Let's watch this, and then we will recap after.
Tonight, and I want to talk about it. Thinking that I was going to enjoy myself and learn things because TPUSA is obviously a conservative faith-based foundation, or so I thought. I thought I was going to be informed about politics stemming strictly from biblical principles, and that's not my experience. So right off the bat, the speaker comes up and before he even gets into preaching or talking about politics, he begins by calling out Candace Owens and saying that she is evil and anti-Semitic and what she's doing is evil. I immediately wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there any longer listening to this nonsense because right off the bat I know that that's just not true. And the only reason I didn't leave is because on the way in I basically got security checked 5 times because there was armed men standing everywhere in front of me. They were very suspicious of me. I don't know. There was also an armed man on stage, hand on his gun. The security was everywhere. And I was I just don't want to deal with it. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it just didn't feel right. So I'm in this church and I'm listening to this TPUSA speaker go on and on about Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and how they're evil and anti-Semitic. And he basically indirectly is saying we should support Israel because Jesus was a Jew and we wouldn't have Christianity without Judaism and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I disagree with that. What they're doing in Israel is evil and they're so corrupt. It's insane. And telling Christians that they should be supporting this evil doing because these people are Jewish, and if you don't, you're anti-Semitic, it's wrong. And also, I don't think Charlie Kirk would stand for that. We know as the weeks before his passing, he was starting to call out Israel and question Israel. And Candace Owens was his best friend. What? So then he goes on and he starts preaching. But the way he was preaching, it wasn't really preaching. He was just literally calling the left names. He called the left idiots. He called them freaks. He called them it didn't feel right. And my thought process is, would Jesus be doing this? Is this biblical teaching? You're calling people that we disagree with as Christians all these names in loser, idiot, freak. Really? Because last time I checked, Jesus ate with sinners. He ate with prostitutes. So you're spreading hate, literally. And that's not what God stands for. He's preaching to people whilst spreading hate. And these people are absorbing this information. These teenagers, these young people are absorbing this information, thinking that this is okay. This is a leader. This is someone put on our stage teaching us this. This is the future generation of Christians. Do we really want to be more divided? We're just going to hate on the left because we disagree with them. We're not going to share the Bible with them. We're not going to help them because we think that they're lost. We're just going to call them losers and freaks and make fun of them and laugh it off. It was quite disgusting, and I'm not pleased at all. So basically, I didn't learn a thing. He spent the entire time talking about liberals and how they're stupid and blah, 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 and how men shouldn't be in women's locker rooms and women's sports. And I'm thinking, we have more important things to talk about as Christians in this nation than things that we see plastered all over online. We all know. We know that men shouldn't be in women's sports. We know that they shouldn't be in women's bathrooms. That's not the most important topic, okay?
Okay, so I actually was watching that live with you guys. I had not watched that yet. I just wanted to. Her name is Patrice. And so she posted that on TikTok. And it did not go over well. Like, it went mega viral. So many people agreeing with her. We have bigger issues. Why are we name calling like that? Like, I can't even believe we're supposed to be talking about Christianity. We're supposed to be encouraging the younger generation, and instead we are name calling and tearing people apart and calling people stupid. It she has a phenomenal point about Jesus. Okay. And it comes back to what I said in my podcast yesterday about, you know, when I used to not go to church because I was like, oh, well, there's more people in the pews that, are not good people. I'm sitting next to like some of the worst that are sitting here. Right. And I used to be like, why go to church? Like, they're all hypocrites, whatever. And my grandma, she teaches Sunday school. And she said, well, Nicole, when you're sick, you go to the doctor, right? And when you're spiritually sick, you go to church. And so they're exactly where they need to be. And it puts it into perspective, and it encourages you to want to be a good example and want to help somebody and want to lead someone to Jesus, right? So I try to lead with that. And I think that's exactly what TPUSA Faith should be doing. Now I want to show you guys a video of an example of what is representing TPUSA Faith and what they're putting on the stage at their events, okay? In case you guys have not been able to see this, I want to show you this because this is exactly what this girl was talking about, okay? So let me go to right here. Okay. So we're going to watch this and go through. Let's see how long this is, because I haven't watched this whole thing because I wanted to watch it live with you guys. So let's just play it.
Who's spending her time trying to tear down the legacy of Charlie Kirk, fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife. I mean, you have to be cruel and demonic to insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks. She's evil. That's what it is. And a big hand clap goes there. Don't get shy on me tonight. I ain't the one. I came too far to play around. It's evil. It's corrupt. It should not take place. She sounds like a jaded person who wish they were in the role that Charlie Kirk's wife is in, but she isn't. And so therefore she seeks to tear down his legacy. And at some point, her husband is going to have to walk into that podcast room and start unplugging cords. I mean, by now I would have already done it if it was my wife. I'm yanking cords. I'm shutting down the camera, shut down the ATEM. Sweetie, get up, get out of this room. And can you please help out with the kids? Because this is a dastardly deed that is being done. I thought that the greatest foe that we would have to contend with after the assassination of Charlie Kirk would be the left. But sadly, it's friendly fire from the right. I'm moving on.
So that's just a glimpse, you guys, at what she experienced at the TPUSA Faith event. That's just a minute and 36 seconds. Imagine what the whole event was like. Okay. I don't know how long their events usually are. I'm guessing at least an hour. So that's how he opened, by the way. That was the opening of the show. That's how he decided to open the show for TPUSA Faith. That's how they chose to. I can't even get past it because, like I said, I was watching that live with you guys. I have not watched that yet. So that is appall. I mean, I just can't even. Once again, it comes back to watching Rob McCoy's sermons. What are you doing in a church, on a stage, teaching people? How is that? How is what that man just did educational at all? Is that what we do to people? We bully people into taking on the beliefs that we have? Is that how we get people to see where we're coming from? Because I know one thing, it comes back to another thing that I always tell people: when you're screaming and yelling and swearing and banging on your chest in an argument, no one's listening to you anymore. You're not getting through to anyone. Actually, when people start doing that, I usually walk away. I leave. I'm done with that. I don't stand there and listen to that. And I certainly am not absorbing what you're saying. So, can you imagine like standing there and listening to that for an hour? And then God forbid you have opposing views. The thing to do is going to be to bully you and name call you and shame you. I think that's so discouraging. And this is a really good example too, I believe, of why people don't get involved in church or why they run away from religion because of judgment, hypocrisy. You know, you feel like you're I used to say it's kind of like I don't want to be a Bible pusher. I used to say that. I don't want to be a Bible pusher. I don't want to be the person who throws it on someone. You want to plant the seed and then somebody comes behind you and waters that seed and it grows, right? You want to put the seed in their mind for them to turn around and say, "Hey, okay, I want to take my walk in faith. I want to be on this faith journey. I want to get close to Christ." Um not it shouldn't be a forceful thing. It shouldn't be something that you back someone to a corner, that you force them. You know, it's not supposed to feel like that. And anything that comes on that way is never going to work out. And if anything, I think it hurts, people wanting to go to church, to be a Christian, to be a Catholic. So that's really sad to watch. And I'm so happy that that girl decided to turn around and get on TikTok and use her platform to talk about how that made her feel. And thank goodness she has a good head on her shoulders to say, "Hey, this is not normal. This is not good. This is like the youth we're feeding this to." And imagine just like it's the same thing as indoctrinating kids in school, right? It's the same thing. You know, you're talking to young people with impressionable minds who already maybe have, like I said, a bad outlook on religion. Maybe they've had a bad experience with religion. Maybe they went to a Catholic or a Christian school and they came across, like I said, I used to be like, oh, there's a lot of people in there that I know that are doing really awful things and they're sitting there. So, like, I don't want to be in there with them. Like, I can talk to God anywhere, which is true. You can talk to God anywhere. I talk to God all day, but it's not the point, right? So, I'm just saying it discourages people. It's really sad that that's what's being taught. We should not be talking about Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, JD Vance, like none of those names. None of those names should be mentioned in church unless we're praying for them, like when we were praying for Charlie Kirk, right? Um, I don't know. I don't know. That's wild. And that's the thing. I told you guys even about like Mark Driscoll and the list of how many pastors are out there talking about political stuff. And a lot of you guys in my comments, I didn't even think about, well, I knew about this, but I didn't even think to talk about it. But you cannot talk about politics in church. Like you have to have what is it, a 501c? Like you're not supposed to, you're not a political organization. They get tax exempt. So I'm gonna go through the list really quick. I'm just gonna read it off, you guys. There's 15 pastors that have talked about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens at church. Okay. And just cannot stop with the pro-Israel messaging, bashing Tucker Carlson, bashing Candace Owens. So there was JD Greer, Larry Hutch, Rob McCoy, Johnny K, which you just saw, who has a crazy last name, Shane Idleman, Andy Woods, Lance Walnew, Frank Turk. Oh gosh, we'll do a video on him. I mean, he's gone off the walls. Like I actually felt kind of bad for him in the beginning, but he must have got the call and he's bashing Candace Owens left and right now, you guys. Greg Locke, don't like him, but not surprised, right? When Charlie first died, he was all over X, all over Instagram talking bad about Candace, bashing her for asking questions. Ask questions once we're done mourning. It was bizarre. Jonathan Kahn, Andrew Eisker, Ron Tucker, Shane Vaughn, and Mike Evans. So that's a total of 15 pastors, you guys, that are talking about politics instead of talking about Jesus Christ. We're mad about Rob McCoy, okay? But like, there's 14 other people that are in church brainwashing people with political propaganda. So maybe we'll start doing some videos on exposing some of those. I definitely I definitely have stuff on Mark Driscoll. I've already done a video on him, but I do want to I'm trying to put together something where I could talk to you guys about his past. And some people know about his past, but some people don't. Just to kind of talk about and put out there, you know, if you go to this church or whatever, you know, someone who goes to this church, let them know that, hey, do they know this? Is this who they want their kids around? Is this who they want preaching the gospel to them? Clearly, it's, I mean, if it's anything like Rob McCoy, it's not the gospel, right? So, anywho, I am going to get off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, share if you liked the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I appreciate all you guys being here, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you all in the next one. Have a good night, guys.